think Chinese and Tibetan are totally separate? Science says they share the same roots. And the proof will blow your mind. Walk through any street in Beijing or Lhasa, and you'll see obvious differences: clothes, food, even languages. For centuries, people assumed these two groups had separate origins. But over the past 10 years, genetic tests, ancient artifacts, and language studies have uncovered a secret hidden for 6,000 years. What if they are actually from the same family? Let's start with words, the building blocks of culture. You might think Mandarin and Tibetan sound nothing alike, but look at their basic vocabulary. The Chinese word for 3 is san, and in Tibetan, it's some. Notice the similar starting sound? 5 in Chinese is wu. In Tibetan Lanja, linguists call these cognates, words from a common ancestor language. But it's not just numbers. Words for body parts, fire and water, show the same pattern. A 2021 study in Nature magazine confirmed that more than 400 languages, including Chinese and Tibetan, belong to the Sino-Tibetan language family, which split around 6,000 years ago. That means when these two languages first started to differ, humans were just inventing agriculture. Crazy, right? But wait, there's harder proof. Genes don't lie. Scientists from Xi'an Jiaotong University, Xiamen University, and Harvard Medical School teamed up to analyze the DNA of hundreds of people. What they found was stunning. Both Han and Tibetan people share a rare genetic marker called the OF5 haplogroup. This genetic fingerprint comes from a single male ancestor who lived about 5,800 years ago. Here's the timeline. Around 6,000 years ago, a group of farmers lived in the Yellow River Valley. Some stayed and developed what would become Han culture. Others moved west, eventually reaching the Tibetan Plateau. Over time, the plateau group evolved unique traits to survive high altitudes, like a gene that helps with low oxygen. But their core genetic code, still linked to the Yellow River farmers. It's like two branches from the same tree. Let's go even further, back to 5,000 years ago. In 1917, factory workers in eastern Tibet found strange stone chips and pottery shards while digging. What archaeologists uncovered next changed everything: the Karuo site, a Neolithic village where people lived 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. Look at these artifacts. The Karuo people used stone knives with curved backs, exactly the same style as those found in the Magyayo culture of the Yellow River Basin. Even more important, they grew millet, a crop native to the Yellow River. Millet can't grow wild on the Tibetan plateau. It had to be brought there by people. This isn't just trade, it's evidence of a shared way of life. Their houses had wooden frames covered in mud, just like houses from the same era in central China. For 1,000 years, this village existed because its people brought Yellow River farming techniques to the plateau. That's not coincidence, that's heritage. Fast forward to today, and the connections still exist. Before New Year, both Han and Tibetan families clean their homes to sweep away bad luck. On Chinese New Year's Eve, Han families have reunion dinners. Tibetans eat gutu, a special noodle dish, with their families on the 29th of the Tibetan year. Both traditions are about family unity. Respecting elders, Han people kowtow to grandparents. Tibetans present white hadas. Giving gifts to kids, Hans give red envelopes. Tibetans give candy and small presents. Even the spring ox pictures used by Tibetan farmers to predict harvests comes from Han calendar traditions. These aren't random similarities, they're echoes of a shared past. So why does this matter? It's not just about two groups. It's about how humans move, adapt, and keep their roots alive. 6,000 years ago, a single group of farmers spread across East Asia. Some settled on the plains, others climbed the mountains. They changed, but their shared DNA, languages, and traditions never fully disappeared. The next time you hear Chinese and Tibetan spoken, or see their cultures side by side, remember, the truth is more amazing than any myth. We're all connected by the stories written in our genes and our past.